Welcome in today's discussion. Our topic for today is about cultural literacy. But before that, let us define first what is culture and what is literacy. Now that we already know what is culture and literacy, it's time to learn and discover what is cultural literacy, its importance, and its implication to the teaching and learning process.
Cultural literacy means being able to understand the tradition, regular activities, and history of a group of people from a given culture. This also means being able to engage with these traditions, activities, and history in different cultural spaces like museums, galleries, and performances. Cultural literacy is a term coined by Eric Donald Hirsch, referring to the ability to understand and participate fluently in a given culture. So, in addition, cultural literacy is an analogy to literacy proper. A literate reader knows the object languages, alphabet, grammar, and sufficient set of vocabulary. A culturally literate person knows a given culture's signs and symbols. This includes language, particular dialects, stories, entertainment, idioms, and so on.
Culturally literate person is able to talk to and understand others of that culture with fluency, while the culturally illiterate person fails to understand culturally conditioned allusions, references to past events, idiomatic expressions, jokes, names, and places.
Importance of cultural literacy. So, cultural literacy will help you to successfully interact with people from diverse backgrounds. Also, it helps you to develop associated skills such as communication and self-reflection. So, it helps to develop cultural perspective, especially if you are part of the dominant culture. Cultural literacy positively affects society. It reduces prejudice and inequality based on culture. It increases the value placed on diversity and differences. Increased participation in social and community practices like visiting museums, attending performances, and assessing community programming. Participating in cultural activities such as visiting museums can help improve cultural literacy. Museums tend to pull in visitors with higher literacy levels. Ojan's surveys showed that even when the number of museum visitors increases, these visitors tend to belong to the most educated social groups. Being culturally literate can help you understand, relate to, and interact with people from diverse backgrounds that may be very different from your own. It can be especially important to be culturally literate if you are part of the dominant culture. Seeing, hearing, and learning about how other people live can make you more culturally sensitive and aware. Learning about different cultures can open your mind to different ways of life.
So, cultural literacy is something that we can see in children or adults. It is crucial for us teachers to bring cultural literacy into our classrooms.
It helps students to have deeper and meaningful relationships with their peers. It also helps to prepare them for the real-world situation where it will be common for them to work with different types of people from different cultures than their own. In addition, cultural literacy helps students interact and collaborate effectively, both of which will be necessary skills in their lives after graduation. According to educational theories such as Vygotsky's social development theory, Learning occurs in social contexts of community. As such, a deeper understanding of diversity in one's community should improve learning. This means that cultural diversity is our greatest educational resource. The concept of co-constructing knowledge is simple. Teachers stop playing the traditional role of teacher as orator of the sole director of knowledge and learning. Instead, they focus on student-led learning, which values student input regarding how and what they would like to learn. Teachers who lack knowledge about the culture might misinterpret the behavior of a child and inaccurately judge students as poorly behaved or disrespectful. In the new model, teachers are facilitators, providing learning tools and offering instruction and suggestions as students need it. Taking ownership of their learning helps students build motivation. Moreover, students grow comfortable with sharing their insights and needs with fellow students, which fosters cultural understanding through natural group process-based learning. Of course, teachers have to figure out how to meet achievement standards within this model, but with a creative, interactive approach, teachers and students together can address these standards without sacrificing cultural literacy. A collaborative classroom naturally encourages co-constructive knowledge and cultural literacy. The collaborative classroom throws out old conventions of space and teaching. There is no teacher desk and student seating arrangements promotes constant dialogue, discussion, and student-led learning. The teacher becomes a resource modeling roles for group interaction, communication building, devices, and learning strategies. Digital technology lets students interface with other classrooms worldwide to collaborate on projects and web-based applications. All of these classroom elements can promote cultural literacy.
Cultural tendencies impact the way children participate in education. To engage students effectively in the learning process, teachers must know their students and their academic abilities individually, rather than relying on racial or ethnic stereotypes or prior experience with other students of similar backgrounds. It is important because we are confronted with an increasingly diverse population of students and the wide achievement gap between minority and non-minority students. It is controversial because we may fall into the trap of cultural stereotyping and making naive attempts to explain achievement differences among our students. Teachers cannot escape the fact that their communication styles reflect their cultural background. Much of what they say, the way they say it, and their relationship with students, parents, and colleagues are deeply influenced by the way they have been socialized. Race and ethnicity often play integral roles in children's identities and contribute to their behavior and their beliefs. Recognizing this can help students succeed in a school culture where expectation and communication are unfamiliar. As Arthur Combs said, without an understanding of the unique meaning existing for the individual, the problems of helping him effectively are most insurmountable. Other cultures came with a duality in that kids embrace the culture in which they live but must take on the behaviors necessary to become upwardly mobile. This cultural clash often causes struggle when individual strengths are not valued or respected.